Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Welcome back, Journeymen Lounge podcast listeners. You got your host, Woj, and Bobby running today's mini episode. We appreciate your tenure. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. You know, we're not great, but we're not bad either.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Bobby. So we're doing this mini episode. We're doing another one with Ryan, just simply conflict of schedules.
It's right around Halloween, so we have just a few hiccups in, meeting together.
It's whatever. It's definitely going to happen at some point. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, I do want to say that by the time this one's out, the thing that I was talking about with our game, like Aaron and I did a little game, tabletop game, filmed it. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not the greatest, but it is the first of many. We'll definitely get that done more. We're hoping to get Bobby in on that,
Yeah,
Ryan
I want to
in
get in on that.
and we'll hopefully film some more different tabletop games. It was a fucking blast, dude. I listened back to it earlier today. It's fucking so much fun.
Thanks for telling me how awesome it was and me not being a part of it.
I mean, again, that was simply
I know.
We just got to get a day where, I mean, realistically, man, just a quick interruption on that is just like you need to have with these games, you need to have a solid 4 hours blocked out.
I'm
like,
good with
that's
that.
just about, and I know most people can be like, yo, this is no problem, but there are people who go like, hey, at 3 hours,
little
like
kids or whatnot,
like I'm tapped, or just like in terms of general, like you have to have some gusto, like some patience to really make it through some of these games. But I'm not saying that you don't.
2 Red Bulls deep. Let's go, baby. I'm with you though. I'm there until either I die or the game ends, or
the game ends, and then you go, okay, I gotta go.
But I'm in it for the win.
We will definitely get that going in the future here. So let's pop over. Let's go non-football. Let's go. World Series is on. It's 3-1 now because the Yankees just won last night.
Yeah, they teed off. They finally found their bats.
I think it's 100% the powers that be are going like, yo, we need to make more money off this. We need to extend it out another game or so. And honestly, there was an article on ESPN today, basically just said that the Dodgers basically sat like their relievers. They didn't put anybody in that they would because it was like, 6-7 run game at that point.
That makes sense.
They're saving them for the next game, but that basically ultimately says, hey, the game is over. So you're going to a, game 5 here. I mean, do you have any other reason to think that the Yankees are going to pull off some miraculous down 3, win 4 straight?
It's been done before against them, so there's always that possibility. Do I think that they have the, I don't know, maybe the chemistry to pull that off? No, if I'm being honest with myself. But I'm also in the same discussion, and this is something I spoke about with AJ and Chris. AJ's been on the podcast. Chris will be at some point. They're like, LA bought this win for this year. They had a deferment to secure Ohtani, who's an incredible athlete. I'm also against kind of how that whole gambling thing was handled, honestly. But it seems like they went over and above any type of
hug that mic a little bit.
Over and above any type of capacity in terms of salary cap to essentially do what the Yankees do, which is buy the talent, pay them whatever they want, and secure some wins. But this one seems a little orchestrated. Now, I'm not saying that's how it rolled out, but it just seems a little orchestrated. That's all.
I mean, to me, it's like this is kind of what I expect a league where there is no salary cap, and all you can pay for the players that you want. I would assume that it's going to be the Yankees against the Dodgers, 2 teams that definitely pay for high price talent. But I mean, again, this is the spitting image of the NBA Finals last year, where I think I don't remember if Boston swept whoever the fuck they played, or they were 4-1, but it was over.
Yeah, it was pretty much over.
It was over. I mean,
wasn't it the Heat? I think it was, right, or something.
I have no idea. I don't remember, but
Yeah, it was
just
one-sided.
in general, like I said, this is, it's not an entertaining World Series. I would love for them to make it interesting there, but in general, it's just like I'm done with baseball. I've kind of been, at a point where I'm like,
You know what? That's their
it's a long-
sentiment too.
it's a
Both
long
of them, they
season.
don't give a shit.
That
I'm like,
long
but
season.
I'll say this: I love, and dude, the guy's been dangerous. This is one stat that I've been just like blown away with. Freddie Freeman, 4 home runs.
I mean,
dude,
guy's killing the goddamn ball.
it's such. You know what I like it? Very compact swing. It's not like he's pulling himself outside of his like. Some of those guys that stretch to get like the ball that's just way off the plate. Like he seems to know his zone and he knows how to wield it like a fucking
I mean, he has
weapon.
to show up if Shohei isn't. I mean, he dislocated his shoulder in one of the games, and then came
that's
back
true.
in the next one. So somebody's got to step up. But again, in my mind, Dodgers are definitely going to take one out of the next 3 to rule it. It's just a matter of time.
No, but Freeman, man, that guy's I'm just blown away by his ability. And then you got Tommy Edman, who came over from St. Louis, doing great too for the
Tommy
Dodgers.
Edmonds, Tommy Pham.
Edman. He's batting 9. You could check me on that.
Tommy
Edmund.
Edmund.
But they have a tough, 2, 3, 4 on the Dodgers. You got Mookie Betts, who leads things off. Then Teoscar Hernandez, and then you got Shohei or Freddie Freeman. Dude, getting through the first 4 or 5 batters, that's rough. That's
Definitely
just
so.
rough, yeah.
I also, again, to me, I just simply don't give a fuck.
I know you don't.
It's tough when the baseball, baseball is one of those sports that definitely, it seems to be a lot closer. There's just not a whole lot of runs being scored, so you would assume that the World Series is going to be a tight, close. That's what I want. I just want like a game that is worthy of watching. And the last couple have been like, I check it in. I go, oh yeah, Dodgers are up. Like the first 3, Dodgers are up 1. Next time, Dodgers are up 3. Dodgers are up.
I think we saw finally. I mean, a game where the Yankees came to life, and that's been their problem this whole time. Their big guys need to step up. You have your Aaron Judge, who's been
awful.
Just life gives you lemons, man. That guy's just
batting like under 100 maybe, or right around 100.
Like I said, and that's tough. Not to take away from his credit, because the guy is an incredible baseball player. Just he hit a cold streak when you can't hit a cold streak.
Right, I mean, this is the
So
time
this
that
is
you need
it.
to show up. But like I said, I'm assuming that this is going to happen within the next couple of days. Congrats, Dodgers.
Right, exactly right.
If it goes to 7, I definitely would like to do a little bit more on it.
Oh, absolutely. I don't see that.
That'd be cool. I'd probably look up some stats for that shit, but we'll see what happens there. Just a quick, we're just going to kind of take a quick detour for the Bulls right now. It's too early in the season to really tell. They don't look great all the time. They have spurts and stuff like that. I just read that fucking Lonzo Ball is out for another 2 weeks, though.
He's a liability. He's been a liability.
Dude, he just fucking sprained his wrist or something like that, so that sucks. He's out again. I mean, it's really going to be like, you got to get at least probably like 15 games in for me to make a real like
rational,
educated decision.
Objective
to go, like,
opinion.
Yeah. Same thing with the Blackhawks. They're like 2-6 right now.
They're not having a good start.
But again, it's so early in the season that they could easily win 3 games, and then they're only 1 game under 500. So still too early to tell. Mm-hmm. I think both the Blackhawks, though, and the Bulls are in a very similar situation. Nobody's really expecting a whole lot out of them, and when they get to the end of the season, I'm sure a lot of people go, yeah, not really a shocker that they missed the playoffs or they were just on the cusp out of the playoffs. Like right now, the team just doesn't look. Both teams don't look. I guess for me,
I see that more like possible playoff bound, and this is me being very optimistic. If between the two, Blackhawks and Bulls, I think the Bulls probably have a little bit more optimism going into it. But the Blackhawks, they're developing. They got some talent there. We'll see. We'll see how things develop. We'll just see.
Yeah, and also, sorry, just to quickly backtrack, with fucking, you see that play with the Yankees fan trying to catch the ball?
Yes, the one who reached over it wasn't a Yankees fan. It was a Dodgers fan.
No, it wasn't. It's 2 Yankees guys. I guarantee it.
All right, well, okay, the one where he reached over and they gave him a double, that one?
No, dude, no. This was in the
this
first.
recent?
This was in the first inning of the last game.
Oh, I didn't see the first inning.
It was a pop fly to the right field. It was foul.
Foul, okay.
Mookie Betts jumps up, grabs the ball. It's an out. The Yankees fan is literally prying his glove open. Like, it's not. I've never seen it before. Grabbing the glove open, doesn't get the ball. Ball goes out. The two fans are kicked out, banned from Game 5. It's like, are you dumb? Like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, if you're going for
dude, I'm
the
gonna
ball,
have to YouTube this. That's unreal.
I mean, if you're going for the ball and like, oh, the guy's jumping over to you, you kind of have a right to like, protect yourself or
yeah,
try and push, his hand out of the way. But like, it's so obvious that he's just like, I want this ball, and not, you have no self-awareness that he caught the ball already. So what are you doing?
My question is this: did he catch the ball? Okay, you remember how Jeter took a foul ball and fell into the second row? I think the moment your person leaves the confinements of the baseball field, the ball is blown dead. So even if, let's assume
no, I'm saying you're right in the fact that after a player makes a play on it. So if a player makes a play on it, doesn't catch it, obviously the ball is dead. Even if he touches it, whatever, it's foul. But when you're over that line and he has made the play, that's where you go, oh, yeah, he made, like, common sense goes, oh, he made the play, he caught it, great job, like, back off.
Yeah.
And this guy's, like, grabbing the middle. I was like, are you dumb, dude? Like, what is wrong with you?
I'm gonna have to YouTube this. I did not see that. I thought you were referring to earlier in the series, an LA fan reached over and grabbed a home run, possible home run ball, but clearly it was just a bit short.
Okay, yeah, no, different play. But either way, let's.
That's crazy.
I mean, with the other,
that pisses me off as a baseball player. Are you kidding me?
I mean, yeah.
Let me do my thing. You guys just sit back, enjoy, get drunk, do your thing.
I mean, again, it just was a really bonehead play by a fucking Yankees fan. Like
that guy won't. I don't think he'll be banned probably from Yankee, but I guarantee other parks too. Like, hey, this is the guy's name. I'm not sure if they blacklist him. They might.
You would have to do something more egregious than that.
This is Game 4 of the World Series. How much more egregious does it need to be?
I mean, people who
stab someone.
Well,
maybe?
people who run on the field and shit, like they're banned usually from the stadium. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't.
We haven't researched this.
Well, I haven't jumped on the field to go, oh yeah, let me do this because I'm a smart person, and I go, hey, I paid for a seat. Like, why wouldn't I want to watch the game? But neither here nor there.
Right. Enough said.
Those other sports, like I said, we'll periodically kind of check in on them. Again, as there more games kind of transpire, whatever the fuck. So let's go real quick with fantasy recap. So last week I put the hurting down on a guy's team who just did not show up. So that was fun. I beat Serge, who was in second, 136-63.
Well, he knew his day was over real quick then.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Jamar Chase had a good day for him, but everybody else was just horrendous. I had Jalen Hurts throwing up 35, pretty much just led the way. Cade Otton, solid play, two touchdowns, 24.6. So it was pretty short and sweet, but you're right. It was kind of like earlier on, I was like, I don't need to check this one as often. I'm feeling pretty good.
I had a decent outing for my family league. This is one I'm going to comment on, but this is what I was up against. I picked up Tillman from Cleveland to help fill in my wide receiver. He did incredible. Put up 24 points. He had 2 touchdowns. But guess who I'm up against? Cade Otton, who washed that away right away. Just immediately. Montgomery putting up 13.5. Allen putting up 19. Devonta Smith from the. I didn't realize he's been very consistent this year. He put up 17. Every one of her players pretty much had a touchdown. Tied to them. And I was like, I can't win when I only have 3 touchdowns, and pretty much she had 6 or 7.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna really ruin your day there.
But I still had a good outing considering that, like I said, it's a deeper fantasy league. It's 14, and I still put up 96 and some change. But she put up 124, and I'm like, all right, done. I was done the moment she started racking up TD, and then Cade Otton. I dropped him because I needed to grab him for 1 week to play in. Evan Ingram was still questionable. I had Isaiah Likely, who's just been on a cold streak. I might have to just drop him from the bench at this point. But then I picked up Cade Otton, dropped him, and then what happens to Tampa Bay? every one of their
Everyone
wide
goes
receivers
down, yeah.
goes to hell, and Kate Otton's like, I guess I'll take 100 yards and 2 tutties every,
Well, I don't know if he's going to produce that every day, but he's clearly
2 weeks in a row he's done it.
one
pretty
of
much.
Baker Mayfield's
Favorite
top
targets,
target
yeah.
now. So
He's a good receiver. I'm not hating on him. Good job, Kate Otten. Keep it up.
I think it's him in a good system and a good situation. So
Right.
it's not only is he in a system where they do like to throw the ball, but on top of that, a lot of guys, as you said, are injured right now. So it's like, hey, who's gonna get all the targets? I'm gonna play him until you start to see anybody else kind of emerge from the.
I
wide
would
receivers.
too. I'd run that until the well goes dry because I think he's still going to
Definitely
be putting
so,
up.
but I mean that becomes that important question of like, when do you stop playing a guy? Because like to me, like tight
when
ends
Evans
are,
comes back.
But I'm saying tight ends are such a tricky situation where it's like, if this guy's producing, but in my mind, I'm always like, if this guy has a terrible matchup or he's lingering injury going in, I'm looking at other options. Cade Otton to me is, even in this situation, this offense, he is not like an automatically every week starter unless there's something else going on.
Given the current situation, he absolutely is, though.
Right now, yes. But again, if somebody ends up taking more targets in the next game or whatever, he gets 6 targets instead of the 10. I look at that shit to see
He's a big red zone favorite, though. That's all I'll say.
You would hope, but also on top of that, I'm just saying, tight ends run it over the middle of the field. They do often get injured.
You're right. They're more
up.
susceptible to the the what do you call it? The kind of pass, the suicide pass.
It's shit. What is it called? Murder ball.
Murder ball. Yeah, throw a murder ball over the center.
Hospital ball. That's what it's called.
When you have a safety cracking down or a linebacker.
Well, it's where the quarterback just throws the ball in a spot where if the receiver can get to it, he will immediately
met with full force
hit a guy going full force the other opposite direction.
Right.
So
murder ball. There it is. Thank you.
Just again, in terms of the Cade Otton thing, I'm playing him until I feel like, hey, there might be a better opportunity or better matchup out there. But we'll see on that. Let's switch over gears. No Bobby's Best, no Woj's Wagers right now because we're doing this on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the Browns-Ravens. Huge upset with the Browns. Jameis Winston, take it away, man. What'd you see?
Jameis Winston connects, or you know what? He connected with Tillman, who I picked up off of waivers to fill in, but he was out there picking them apart, and it's a decent secondary. It's not like Baltimore's a shit defense. He was slinging it, and the one thing I like to see, it was quicker releases. He was getting the ball out. I think Baltimore thrives on an indecisive quarterback, and Winston has been in part of Tampa Bay, New Orleans. They like to throw, so I think for him it's fits like a nice glove.
Well, let's just call out the 800-pound fucking gorilla.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, Deshaun Watson just simply wasn't getting it done.
No, he wasn't.
I thought it was for sure going to be, at what point is he going to get benched? He tears his Achilles, he's benched. Not benched because of
right. No, but I get
se,
you.
But
you got to the same result, but in
you
a
kind of
different way.
figured that this was definitely coming, and I'm going to say I'm not a big believer in Jameis Winston, but exactly as you're saying, he does like to throw the ball, which means 2 things to me. It means, 1, his receivers should absolutely benefit.
Oh, hell yeah.
From just somebody who can actually hit them with the ball. The second thing, though, is that I still believe Jameis is still Jameis in the fact that he does turn the ball over quite a bit. And that's something that I definitely see still happening. I think in this game he fumbled it for a scoop and score.
Yeah.
So it is that thing, though, of like, it's got great upside for his receivers, but on the other side, I mean, Baltimore defense played a real bad game. They
were off, but usually they're pretty solid. But yeah, they were
to me
that was apart.
That was a lock of a game. Like, I cannot believe that Cleveland, even with Jameis Winston, I still just can't believe that they marched down like a minute and a half left, maybe scored a touchdown.
There was a funny meme when you mean a lock of a game. I'm not kidding you. I think the odds for just a straight money line when Detroit played Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
There was a funny meme where, if you've seen, I think, the new Star Wars, where, Luke gets, eventually killed by, like, that fleet of AT-ATs and other, armed ships. Then he's like, more, and then he keeps shooting all the lasers.
Yeah, it's Kylo Ren at the
Kylo
base.
Ren,
Yeah,
exactly, shooting at the Phantom, Luke Skywalker. But that was the meme, the Detroit being like, what was it, 52-14?
Yeah, they put a hurt.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this is... and
Everyone got a touchdown. Oprah was giving them out.
Yeah, the one thing I'll just say about the Lions is just simply they're
looking good.
They're putting pedal to the metal all day long. We're scoring. I fucking hate it, man. Watch out, NFL. I mean, if they keep doing that, dude, they're going to be obliterating teams. I mean, Tennessee was a bad team. Don't get me wrong.
I'm going to say lock of the week. That one was my lock of the week for sure. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was just my.
I was excited. No, excited to see Cleveland pull off the upset. And there's a few other topics on NFL we want to cover.
Yeah, that's fine. What about Jets?
Let's talk about the Jets. So I am a Green Bay fan, as all 85 subscribers know. But we got rid of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets. Now, the head coach was released week 4, right?
Yeah, 3-4, something like that.
Something like that. He brought in Adams. He's basically running the show, and there's still nothing to show from it.
I mean, yeah, it's a bad loss to the Patriots for the Jets, but the only thing that I could really key on here is that I look at it very much that Rodgers, this is his first season with the Jets, because it is. He tore his Achilles 4 snaps.
It's his second season.
He tore his Achilles, though, 4 snaps in, so this is what I'm saying, is that this is really like that first year was red shirt for Rodgers. Give him some time. I think you definitely know this all too well, is that I think Rodgers will eventually get better as he gets more accustomed throwing back. I mean, it's got to be weird to be thrown back to Devontae Adams after you've kind of been thrown to Garrett Wilson. You throw in a little different way. Garrett Wilson is, I think, a little bit more acrobatic in terms of the catches.
I would agree with that, yeah. He's a little bit more...
and Devontae Adams, I mean, I haven't
He's
really
a method wide receiver. That guy
I think he's just always open. Devontae Adams is a guy that
he knows how to get open, knows how to create separation.
He's not super open, but we'll just throw it out there. And
he's got great hands, too. He actually dropped a few in that game, which I was kind of shocked, and uncontested just drops. But the reality is, and this is coming from a Green Bay fan, Rodgers, sorry, you need to hang it up. NFL was great to you. Time to maybe just ride that horse off into the sunset and just not play next year.
I mean, we will definitely see. This is going to be a very interesting season, off season rather, with Rodgers. Let's say the Jets go real shitty. Let's say they go like 4-13? 4-13, 17 games.
Yeah, with a bye. Yeah.
4-13. I mean, that becomes a very valid question. Do you want to come back and you want to do this? I think Devontae Adams is only signed for the remainder of
the year, right? Or
this year and next year. But he had like a $75 million. He had something crazy in his
That's
deal.
the thing is, like, dude, they're pulling out a huge checkbook or like writing some big checks. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I guess here's from Green Bay as well as Jets. I don't see the value. I'm sorry, I couldn't, like, him getting hurt that for like within 4 plays of
I mean, it's a freak
season,
accident, yeah.
That sucks, but I wouldn't have paid him to bring him over. Sorry, you just at some point you got to add more value to the assets around a quarterback rather than the quarterback itself. Because if you build, let's just call it, you build a crystal palace and surround it with little hobbits. You wonder why all these big monsters come walking through and just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you that I think that there needs to be the Jets, I think, got wide-eyed with Rodgers being like, yo, I want to come to your team, basically. I think
that's it. Maybe that's it, too.
I think they got really wide-eyed of like, oh, shit, look what he could do before. And then now I think it's maybe a little bit of like, oh, that's Aaron Rodgers from 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Stellar.
Buyer's remorse a little bit.
Now I think they're noticing that they fired their coach, as you said. I don't know if that really helps or hurts the team per se because they're still losing, which I kind of anticipated after you fire a coach midseason. No matter how well coached you can be, I think there's always going to be some probationary period of not clicking on all cylinders. But, I mean, it remains to be seen what happens with the Jets because they play in a tough division. They got Buffalo, they got Miami with Tua back, playing well.
How do you think he's going to be playing? No, I love Tua, but, dude, that's another conversation where maybe at the end of this season, you take care of yourself because I'm sure you knocked off years with how many head injuries.
I don't think the way that Tua responded in some of those pressers and interviews and stuff like that, I think he's going to play until he physically cannot play. That's just my.
That scares me because I guess you're cashing in a lot of chips, man. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, dude, it's his fucking.
It's your life to live. I get that.
It's his decision, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
That's true. America.
America. That's right. All right, last topic, real quick. So I was watching the Monday night game, the Giants-Steelers game, and.
We still got to get back. Yeah, we're doing state of the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the next one. I just wanted to touch on this real quick, though, here, because.
Najee Harris having a hell of a day.
I mean, Najee Harris and this guy, Tyrone Tracy, he had better numbers, 20 for 145. I think the Giants and this guy, Tyrone Tracy, coming up, I think that's like. They're happy that they have another running back because they just got rid of Saquon last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're very happy that this guy can come up and play at this level.
He ran well. I liked watching him.
But my biggest thing is that you paid Daniel Jones all this money for a
$240 million or something ungodly.
For his stat line of 24 for 38, 264, averaging 6.9 yards a pass, shout out. And one pick and took 4 sacks. I mean, those are dog shit numbers for a guy who you're paying in at least the top, 6-7 people of the league.
Let's pause. That's actually a better game of his this year.
True.
So
I mean, Giants are 2-6 right now. I mean, they look like crap. And I think that, again, I look at it this way. I just kind of came up with this on Monday, is that so you chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, which again. You are going to have to pay both of them to keep them, obviously. But now you're looking back at it and you're going, Daniel Jones is not improving. I mean, it's not like he's a rookie. He's like 4 or 5 years in now.
Yeah.
I don't see Daniel Jones as like magically just showing up and going, I'm going to now be a superstar quarterback.
And I'm not going to even blame. Okay, is his O-line great? No, but are they the worst? No. Like it's not like moment he snaps the ball and he's running for his life.
I mean, let's also take into account Pittsburgh Steelers' fucking D-line is
Watt. How do you guard that?
You have Watt on one side, Highsmith on the other, and then you got Cam Hayward in the middle. I mean, that's
rough,
disgusting.
dude. Fuck that. All right,
I have the Pittsburgh D shout out, so that was
Pittsburgh
dope.
D. Yeah, they're running, dude. Those 3 right alone.
But I'm just saying those. I feel like this move to go with Daniel Jones, while you needed a quarterback, obviously the Bears are a very specific example of that, of like getting a quarterback that is competent improves your team immediately. Daniel Jones, to me, I'm like, you had enough years where Daniel Jones to me seemed like a prime cut candidate. Not cut, but like trade, get him out, like try and start over, get somebody else to pair with him. That was just my feeling. I never looked Daniel Jones at like, he has the possibility to get here. I always looked at it like he just is middling out.
And I'll say this, I think a good caliber or barometer to measure a quarterback's success, I mean, you have QBR and you have like objective metrics you could check, but do you elevate your wide receivers? Do they become higher stock because you're working with them? You're fine-tuning their routes. You're developing a rapport with them. I don't see a good rapport outside of a little bit with what is it, Slayton?
Yeah, Slayton, is his favorite target.
Outside of that, I'm not really seeing it.
And I mean, again, at this point, too, as well, they have Malik Neighbors, who is a goddamn talent.
He had a few bad drops.
That's fine, though, man. He's young.
Incredible talent.
He is absolutely kicking ass, though, with Daniel Jones throwing him the fucking ball. So this is where I say I kind of agree with you that the wide receiver core of the Giants has not been great, right? Mm-hmm. He hasn't gotten so many talents, but in my mind, a good quarterback or a great quarterback can make even the shittiest wide receivers useful.
Yeah, you could bring up their value. Absolutely.
So that's where I'm just not seeing I'm seeing the plateau of Daniel Jones right now. And if I am wrong, I am one to admit it. But
I don't think I'm just saying that.
I'm looking at Daniel Jones as the Giants will go down and go, why the fuck did we get rid of Daniel Jones? I'm sorry, why did we keep Daniel Jones and why did we get rid of Saquon?
Now, Saquon he was more injury prone, but I think some of that also stems from the fact they relied so heavily on the run because their passing game wasn't really making ends meet. But let's move forward.
We'll see what happens with the Giants. Now, Bobby, I don't want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
But before we get to the catastrophe that was the Bears game, let's do State of the Packers first because that'll be shorter.
I have a few notes for the Packers.
Yeah, I'm raising questions right now, man. Jordan Love, injured again, man.
So
and I didn't see it. What happened to him?
Right. So some of his rollouts, in terms of, I think some of them were structured and others were broken plays that he rolled out, and he was throwing, laterally
I saw it. I saw the one. He threw back across his body, and like as he was putting all the weight on whatever knee, he kind of got up a little. He didn't go down. He just was like, oh, that's
you could
kinda,
tell something
like
tightened up, nice,
testing it out and going, what's up with that? So I mean, is that what they're saying though? He has the MCL. Is still the injury?
You know what? I'm not 100% certain. I'll call it a leg
Call
injury.
yourself a fucking Packers fan,
Oh, I'm
bro?
sorry. I don't know if it's. I thought it was more of an ankle or Achilles issue than I think. If it is a knee injury, but regardless, you saw he was more comfortable in a shotgun setting where he had to get the ball out quick, but he wasn't trying to scramble.
Okay, he has a groin injury.
Okay, I've had a groin injury and it is god awful.
Okay.
So I can understand the limit in terms of
your
range
quarterback,
and your gait.
You're
a quarterback.
You need to have the ability to use your.
But one thing I guess I'm hopeful for, our backup quarterback showed that he doesn't get scared.
Willis?
It seems like he at least has something in the tank to offer. So if we're playing a shittier team, like if we're against Tennessee and we have our backup quarterback in, I'm putting on Green Bay all day.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Bobby. Packers are sitting at 6-2 right now.
We're looking good. Come on.
You are gonna
NFC North is looking good though.
You are gonna run into a bandsaw when you play the Lions this week, but it is a thing though, especially if Malik Willis only plays. But
yeah, agreed.
I'm just saying though is that to me it's very concerning because Jordan Love, when he has been playing, even at like 70% or whatever he was doing, because I saw a little bit of the Packers game. He was doing pretty well, fucking finding guys, with, hey, I'm not 100%, I can't roll out, can't do this. Very, very encouraging, I would say, for Packers fans to be, hey, as long as this guy stays healthy, we should be pretty, hey, we're going to be winning games that we should win games. And that's really all that you can kind of hope for.
I know, like I said, and I think now, I guess from what I'm saying, maybe this is controversial, I think Green Bay has a better wide receiver core than Detroit. Think about that for a moment. Chew on it. Okay.
Well, now that Jameson Williams fucking is arrested or warrant out for your arrest.
So, okay, him.
I agree.
But you have Dobbs, who I think he was suspended for a week or two for like some just internal.
He fucking was bitching about his playing time.
But you're seeing him step up. Wicks is playing well. You have I think everyone. You have Kraft. You have who am I forgetting? Reed. We have a pretty decent core, and they're younger guys. We have speed. We don't have a guy like, and this is what's killing me, and I know we're shifting to the Bears in a second.
It's fine.
We don't have someone like a DJ Moore, but I think that we're getting what we need out of everyone else. And now let's flip it over to the Bears. Bears, Caleb got...
Okay, hold on. Let's excuse me. Let's
all right. Yeah, go ahead. Start us off on this.
Let's prepare for this.
Let's prepare our viewers for this.
So this is the unfortunate nature excuse me, when your team loses in a horrific fashion, is that now what I've gone through over the last 4 days, 3 days, whatever, is that on social media, I am seeing this play every fucking 2 hours on whatever app that I'm on. I'm
of course.
Oh, well,
the memes are great.
Good.
I love it.
There's memes, there's stuff, but basically whoever didn't see, fucking Bears Commanders game was kind of a shit show. It was 12. Commanders kicked 4 field goals.
5 field goals.
5 field goals or whatever. And then a late touchdown. Bears had 2 touchdowns, I think.
Sorry, you're right. 4, not 5. Sorry.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
It's 12 to 15 in the final play.
Right. And so coming up to the final play, the Bears... There's a litany of issues, and I'm just going to kind of get to here. So one, as it normally happens, is as I see those memes, as soon as I bet on somebody, it's like fucking they're throwing left-handed. This is the first game that I bet on Caleb Williams to throw 200 passing yards. He ended up with 80.
86 or something.
And he had 30 through the fucking 3.5 quarters.
Right, it was rough.
So not great. Also with that, the Bears defense, I think, played pretty well. Excuse me. I do have some criticism of the last play, obviously, but there are these things of play calling again. We're on the 1 yard line and we're running a fullback, a lineman checking in as a fullback. And
I'm not
then
upset with that.
The handoff and they get the ball back. And I was like, oh yeah, the game's over now.
I don't mind that play selection and the execution of that play. Horrid. It should have been very.
All right,
simple.
Bobby. Let me throw out a question here.
Let me tell you.
Let me throw out a question
All
here,
right.
though. Okay, man. This lineman, this year at least, I believe, has not run the ball in an actual game situation.
Oh.
I believe that they practice it and they do all that stuff, but my hill that I will die on right now is that the game is on the line. You
have Roshan Johnson. You could have brought
have
him in.
multiple options, and even until you get to like last ditch effort, that's like my last okay, they've been stopping us at everything in goal line. Let's do this. They might not see it coming. But that is they called it on 2nd and goal or 3rd and goal, fumbles the ball, Washington gets the ball back. Bears defense comes up again, gets the ball back again, then they finally score there to put them up. So I'm just saying, though, is that before we get to this fucking horrific play, the game winner for Washington, I'm just saying is that there's a litany of issues with the Bears, mainly on the offense, leading up to that I think fucked them ultimately.
I have a different perspective.
All right, go ahead.
Do I think the play calling, like I said, for that one, you have Roshan Johnson. He's a power back. You could put, like you said, a lineman and act as a fullback and blow up, the A gap. I'm fine with that. Go in there full tilt and just slam your body into the biggest thing there and hopefully create some holes.
But they're running it with
I know. Okay, but I'm saying
if they ran it with DeAndre Swift and they ran the lineman as a blocker,
yeah, just
what a great play call.
Put it right, yeah, hand on his jersey right through the hole.
But I'm just saying, it's that type of stuff that again it continues to irk the Bears. Like they've had a couple good wins, but within those wins, there's always and even in the losses. There are these plays where they're like running a pitch on the goal line to DeAndre Swift. It's like
that entire game, because I watched it from start to finish. The one thing I'll say about the play calling is they weren't utilizing any type of RPO. They weren't trying to create different types of offsets or misdirections. They were always being very cookie cutter, cut and dry, and different types of play. And that means, they were able to corral. And let's give it up a little bit to Washington. I think that Washington pretty much lost this game with a miracle. That's what I'm saying. They went to the red zone 4 times.
No, they won the game by chance of a miracle.
But they lost. They should have
lost.
But they go there 4 different times, and it's not like 1st and goal and then there was a 10-yard penalty and they're on the 20. No, they were like 1st and goal on the 5 and they couldn't figure it out 3 times.
Right.
So
okay, and now getting to the play, man. I will say so.
Yeah, go ahead and unbox this.
I mean, Jaden Daniels scrambles around for a while. There is what you could call a hold. You could have called that a hold because there's holds been called for less. Let's just say that.
Yes,
in the NFL.
Agreed.
Couldn't call. Okay, whatever. You don't call it last play. I'm not even really that upset with that. Jaden Daniels then throws I believe at that time it would have been. He threw it about 55 yards, maybe 60, but that was
60, yeah.
short of the end zone, or would have landed pretty much right on the goal
line. Yep.
In these Hail Mary plays, there is a design now in the NFL where some of your guys are going shorter than the ball because now teams have been able to tip the ball back to a guy and then run in for a yard.
Right, a tip in or a tip back, yeah.
Right, and there's been guys also tipping it back. So there's a guy at the back in case shit happens, the ball pops up, he can knock it down. You got Tyreek Stevenson fucking
talking
shit to the crowd as the play has already started because Jaden Daniels scrambled for about 12 seconds.
And these wide receivers are like 20 yards into their run before.
So they're already in it. Now he turns around. Tyreek Stevenson is the guy who hits the ball, bounces up in the air,
lands.
Whoever the
Clifford Franklin coming down.
Yeah, basically. But whoever the receiver was for Washington catches it, game over, and the Bears lose. And it's an absolute dagger into the heart, man. Because it's like, dude, even if you play shittily, you should never be losing on a Hail Mary play of that type because, like I said, there's a design now to that play where that shouldn't happen. If it's a free catch, this guy jumps up, Commander's one hand brings it in because he jumps over everybody, no problem. You go, fuck, man, great play. But to me, this is just like, what kind of shit is this? And I'm saying it now, which I said it all year last year. I think it comes down to Eberflus. I think if you have the fucking determination and you inspire these guys to play for you, there's none of that bullshit. There's 100% laser focus. Hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna execute, as you said with the lineman play as well. It's a lack of execution that, again, I think it reflects on the coaching.
I agree. No, I 100% agree. And personally, like I said, I think play calling was absolutely reprehensible for your offensive side of things. But on defense, and maybe this is the Mike Tomlin in me, if you have
great coach,
if I know you have no time left and you have to have a Hail Mary, I'm putting 5 on the line. And I'm going to send them. Now, granted, Daniels can run, but go ahead, run. Once you get past that line, eventually we'll corral you.
I mean, even on top of that, there wasn't.
I like pressure.
Well, there was also a play right before the Hail Mary that was 13-yard completion out of bounds that Eberflus was like, yeah, that play didn't matter, and it absolutely mattered. Like, what?
That put him within Hail Mary range. Yes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The 23 seconds that finalized that game, I don't like their like. I don't mind playing conservative and like letting things in front happen. Protect the sidelines, but then you need to engage. Anything beyond 12 to 15 or 12 yards more, I want someone on it.
I just, again, I think we're both on the same page of like, we're playing up in your face defense so you don't just get an easy out for 10 yards. Like,
right.
That's, to me, that's what you would do so that, hey, if you have to bomb it, like I said, same thing about a guy just going up and making a play, is that if Jaden Daniels fucking goes out there and throws it 75 yards, you go, fuck, man. That was
if he pulled out something like that,
right.
You know, hats off. But
yeah, right? You live with that. But the way in which Eberflus kind of did that stuff.
They allowed him within striking distance, and that was something that you shouldn't have allowed in the first place.
It's a really kick to your dick because, like, Bears at 5-2, solid, man. That you're feeling good. 4-3 now. You're like, I don't know. What's going
there's
on.
a little bit of hesitancy there
for sure.
But I think Caleb will have a good week coming up against Arizona. There's a lot of tough games for the NFC North, so I guess stay tuned.
Let's go through the picks here real quick. I will just mention I am actually going to be in the game in Arizona this upcoming week. So,
holy shit, how are you pulling that off?
I mean, me and a couple of buddies are going to Arizona, and we're going to see the Bears hopefully whoop the Cardinals'
Do you
ass.
have like family down there spending time with, or is it straight up just going to a hotel and making it work?
We're doing an Airbnb, so it should be.
Dude, all right, we're talking more about this after the pod. I want to hear all about it.
For sure. But yeah, there should be some videos and shit like that.
Can't wait. It's a cool stadium, too.
Might have lost the camera. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But some videos coming for that shit. Let's go into the picks here because I will be doing a video with Ryan tomorrow.
We'll blend it.
Well, we'll be doing. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. Maybe we do first half, second half. I don't know. It might be boring. We might do 2 different episodes. Who knows? But let's get to the picks here. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to make sure that I say the same ones for Ryan tomorrow.
Sure.
So we're going to make sure I don't flip-flop on those. So Texans, Jets.
Texans. Even though they lost, what's his name, as Diggs. Diggs went out with an injury, but
Diggs
Texans.
Got an ACL tear.
Yeah, he's in trouble. That wide receiver core for the Houston is in trouble. They need Nico Collins back.
You know what I'm going to do is, as we were talking about all the Jets and the bullshit and all that stuff.
You're going to go for him?
I'm going to go with the Jets this year. Ryan got me in the upset mood because he's like,
he's rubbed off on
Mr.
you now.
Upset.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Jets just simply for the reason that, like, I couldn't believe that a really low, like, Houston is down to their, like, 4th string wide receiver, 5th string guy.
Bottom of the barrel.
And C.J. Stroud has not been playing crazy great. So
it's been okay.
I'm going Jets just for this one. I could could be a bite in the ass, but let's see. Cowboys, Falcons. I got the Falcons. Cowboys are dumpster fire.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go Cowboys on the off chance they find the pulse.
Okay. Dolphins, Bills.
Bills.
I got the Bills, but I think that's gonna be a tight one.
I don't know. Tua's coming. Well, I know Tua's back, but you're also coming back from injury. So
I mean, he
we'll see.
looked all right last week.
You're right.
He
You're
looked
right.
all right. It wasn't great, but
I'll take the Bills. I think the Bills are starting to find their own.
I got the Bills as well, just simply because I think Von Miller.
You're thinking it's gonna be a closer game.
Well, I think Von Miller's back, and I think that amps up the Bills D. Raiders Bengals. I got the Bengals.
Yep, same.
Chargers Browns.
Browns.
I'm gonna go Browns.
Let's
too.
go Browns. Come on, Jameis. Let's
go.
go.
I don't like it, but I'm gonna go Browns. Patriots Titans. Oh boy.
Don't care. Patriots, just because I think Titans don't know how to win.
I go Patriots. Yeah, pretty good reasoning there. Commanders Giants. Commanders.
Yep.
Saints Panthers. Saints.
They
just traded away Deontay Johnson. The Panthers did to Baltimore.
Oh, did they? All right, yeah. Then I'm with you on the Saints, but they got to step it up too.
Wasn't trying to sway your vote, but I wanted I wanted you to have all the information.
No, I was curious too because I heard there was the rumors of it. I haven't read anything yet, so
it's all good. Broncos Ravens. I'm gonna go Ravens.
I'm going Broncos. Let's see if the Broncos could give them this 2 L's in a row.
Interesting. Jaguars Eagles.
Yeah.
Bears Cardinals. I gotta go Bears. I'm gonna be there.
I gotta go. You know what? I'm going to go Cardinals on the off chance that their wide receivers really show up. Marvin Harrison Jr. as well as some of the other guys. They have some good core receivers. So we'll see.
I definitely agree. I think they could be a problem for the Bears secondary for sure. I mean, that's why I'm not playing.
I hope that one guy gets chewed out or put on the bench.
Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get benched for that.
I would.
You want to put your best player out. You don't want to hurt your team.
He needs to learn that he's part of a team.
Unless you're going to trade him, which I think the trade deadline is like today.
No, I know, but okay, I get he's a talent, but guess what? You need to get that talent in check.
Yeah, again, coaching is what I said is a problem.
All right.
Lions, Packers, I got the Lions all day.
Packers, come on. We get upset. I'm nervous about that,
dude,
though.
You better hope Jordan Love fucking plays, man.
I better hope that, what's his name, throws 2 picks.
Yeah, Goff.
If Goff throws some interceptions, we have a chance.
Rams, Seahawks. I'm going Rams. Seahawks have not been looking good.
Seahawks
lately.
are on the decline. I'm on the Rams trail as well.
Okay, Rams. Colts, Vikings. I got the Vikings. Colts turned to Flacco.
Did they?
Yeah. That Anthony Richardson, he was like too tired to play or whatever.
Wait, is he going to come back, though, this week? Richardson?
No, they benched Richardson. They said, your play is poor. We're going with Flacco.
Oh, and I got rid of Downs in one league, and he loves that.
He loves Downs. That was really dumb.
Well, I thought that Richardson, now he's healthy and back. Guess what? He doesn't go to Downs that much. That was the mental play. I'm still going with your pick. What is it?
Vikings,
but I think it's going to be a closer game.
It could be. I mean, Flacco is a legitimate quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Buccaneers, Chiefs.
Chiefs, which is sad, I think.
I mean, Bucks full roster. I'm saying maybe Bucks got a shot to upset, but no, Chiefs are going to roll.
Is that it then?
That's it. All right. So, a lot of shit coming here. Been on the DL, not the DL, the
IR.
IR. Realistically, I've been on the IR for about 2 weeks, so shit's now just getting at the point of coming out and putting all those videos out. So stay tuned. Check the Instagram shit. This was the Bobby and Woj show for little mini, which ended up turning. I mean, we talked about a shitload of football, though. I loved it.
We'll capture it in editing.
No, we're just put it all out there. So yeah, the Journeymen Lounge podcast will ride again tomorrow and every day after that, or every week after that. So for Woj
and Bobby,
peace out. Talk to you
next tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. There you go. All right.
See ya.
Peace.